Asma Sultana, and my seminar topic is about cardiovascular system. We are going to discuss about the structure, functions and pathophysiology of the cardiovascular system. First we talk about the structure of heart. As we all know, heart is roughly cone-shaped muscular organ. Its length is about 10 centimeters. Its weight is about 225 grams in women and 310 grams in men. It is in the shape of clenched fist. It lies obliquely little more to the left. It is situated in the thoracic cavity in between the mediastinum. The mediastinum is nothing but the space between the two lungs. And as we all know, heart has 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. And it is having the atrioventricular walls. The walls present in the right atrium and ventricle are the tricuspid wall, and the wall present in the between the right atrium and ventricle is bicuspid wall. And next, the function of the heart. How the blood circulation that takes place in the heart is, first let us assume that heart is in relaxed state. The blood from the 2 largest veins of the body, that is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava, enters into the right atrium. They empty their contents in the right atrium, and from the right atrium it moves into the left. Right atrium moves into the right ventricle by crossing the tricuspid wall, which is atrioventricular wall, and from the right ventricle it goes into pulmonary artery by crossing the pulmonary wall. The pulmonary wall is called as semilunar wall, and from the pulmonary wall, the right atrium actually contains deoxygenated blood. From the pulmonary artery, it is divided into right and left pulmonary artery, and from there the blood moves into lungs, where it is oxygenated, which means the carbon dioxide is expelled and oxygen is absorbed into the blood, and from there it moves into pulmonary veins and gets into left atria. It enters into the left atria, and by crossing the bicuspid wall, which is the atrioventricular wall, it enters into the left ventricle. From there it enters into the aorta, which is guarded by aortic wall, and from the aorta it moves into the body. It moves into different parts of the body. Cardiac cycle is defined as the succession of a coordinated event that takes place in the heart per minute. Atrial event and the other one is ventricular event. And the atrial event is further divided into atrial systole and the other one is atrial diastole. Systole is nothing but the contraction of the heart, and diastole is the relaxation of heart. And the ventricular events are further divided into ventricular systole and ventricular diastole. The contraction and relaxation in the heart takes place for every 0.8 seconds. the left atria. Right atria and right ventricle. Left ventricle. And the wall in the left atrium ventricle is bicuspid wall. And here it is tricuspid wall, the wall between right atria and ventricle. This is the superior vena cava. Inferior vena cava. And aorta. The conductive system of the heart. Conductive system of the human heart has modified the muscle fibers. The modified muscle fibers are specialized in muscle fibers, which conduct the impulses from sinoatrial node to the ventricle node. So the sinoatrial node is present here in the anterior portion of the right atrium, and it passes through the atrioventricular wall, atrioventricular node by internodal fibers. There are three internodal fibers: anterior, middle, and posterior internodal fibers. From here, there will be bundle of cells, and here it is divided into left and right bundle branches, and the Purkinje fibers arise from it. And it spreads to the interventricular septum all over the heart. Through this, the conduction of heart takes place. In the next pathophysiology of heart, there are a lot of diseases related to heart. Some of them include myocardial infarction, congestive heart failure, angina pectoris, etc. The first one is hypertension. The hypertension is the diseased condition of heart in which there will be increase in atrial pressure, which leads to increase in blood pressure and causes hypertension. The normal blood pressure of a person is 120 by 80 mmHg. Based on the severity of the blood pressure, it is classified into three types: pre-hypertension, stage 1 hypertension, and stage 2 hypertension. The stage 1 hypertension ranges from 120 to 129 by 80 to 89 mmHg. And this first stage hypertension range from 130 to 139 by 90 to 99 mmHg. And this stage 2 hypertension greater than or equal to 160 by greater than or equal to 100 mmHg, and this is the severe hypertension. There are different types in hypertension, that is primary or essential hypertension, secondary hypertension, and pregnancy-induced hypertension. In primary or essential hypertension, the reason or etiology is not known to us. It may be due to stress, diet, or improper lifestyle. And secondary hypertension is there is a cause and there is a known reason for this. The causes include vascular disorder, endocrine disorder, disorder. And the fourth one, increase the activity of increase the sympathetic activity. In vascular disorder, it is related to blood vessels. There will be increase of atrial pressure, which causes blood pressure. There will be formation of plaque in the arteries, which causes increase in atrial pressure, which leads to increase in blood pressure and followed by hypertension. In the endocrine disorder, if the patient is suffering from diabetes, it improves his metabolism. There will be increase in bad cholesterol and increase in LDL, low density lipoproteins, which causes increase in atrial pressure and causes increase in blood pressure followed by hypertension. And renal disorder, this is related to, it is a kidney disorder. As we all know, kidney is responsible for the production of angiotensin II. If the person is suffering from renal disorder, there will be increased production of angiotensin II, which there will be effect on the blood vessels, which causes renal disorder. And by increasing sympathetic activity, there will be increase of adrenaline and noradrenaline production, which have effect on the heart, causes vasoconstriction and leads to increase in blood pressure. And the third one is pregnancy-induced hypertension. In the pregnancy, there will be more production of or secretion of hormones. The fluid content increases, the stress will also increases in volume too, which causes pregnancy-induced hypertension. Age, diet and obesity, diabetes mellitus, lack of exercise are the risk factors for this hypertension. And the complications associated with this hypertension are cardiac failure, cardiac arrhythmias and kidney failure. And next, myocardial infarction. The myocardial infarction is the necrosis of or death of cardiac muscles or tissue. There will be decreased blood and oxygen supply to the heart. This causes increase in this causes the condition of hypoxia. There are two types of myocardial infarction. One is ST elevated myocardial infarction. And the other one is non-ST elevated myocardial infarction. In this ST elevated myocardial infarction, if the person is having ECG, there will be elevation in the ST segment, which indicates the complete blockage of the arteries, and it is considered as a severe myocardial infarction. In non-ST elevated, there will be partial blockage of the arteries, which is less severe and can be treated by using drugs. And the symptoms for this are age, diet, lack of exercise, alcohol, tobacco, etc. And the complications related to this are hypoxia, and sometimes even leads to brain stroke, heart failure, kidney failure. And the next one is congestive heart failure. In congestive heart failure, there will be decreased functioning of the heart, which causes decrease in cardiac output or decreased ejection fraction. It is divided into two factors, acute and chronic. In acute, it is the sudden. It is caused suddenly, and in the chronic, it is a prolonged one. The chronic is further classified into two types. left ventricular heart failure and right ventricular heart failure. In right ventricular heart failure, there will be decreased cardiac output which causes pulmonary edema, orthopnea and dysapnea. And in right ventricular heart failure, there will be effect on the right side, like atrium and ventricle of the heart, which causes the peripheral edema. Means a particular part, like let's say there will be edema in the legs. Next one, it also includes two more types: systemic heart failure and diastolic heart failure. In systemic heart failure, there will be decreased contraction capacity of the heart, and in diastolic heart failure, there will be decreased relaxation capacity of the heart.